क्या आप विश्वास कर सकते हैं कि ये मस्जिद यूके में है? I couldn't believe it either. But this mosque is in the UK and it's the UK's first purpose-built mosque. What do you think about this mosque?
It's absolutely stunning.
और ये मस्जिद का नाम the Shah Jahan Mosque है. ये मस्जिद वोकिंग में है और वोकिंग लंदन के पास है, ठीक है? I meet the mosque manager, do an interview with the head imam in Hindi/Urdu. तो आप बहुत होशियार हैं. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. I think.
No worries. अच्छे और बुरे हर रिलीजन में होते हैं. अच्छे और बुरे हर सोसाइटी में होते हैं.
And I visit a very special and very peaceful remembrance garden dedicated to Indian Muslim soldiers who fought for the British in World Wars I and II. I'm just so glad that they've got somewhere where people can remember them. Obviously, they were fighting for a country that wasn't even theirs. तो चलो देखते हैं क्या हुआ. I'm just going to do an intro in Hindi. मैं हबीब के साथ हूँ. हबीब ये मस्जिद का मैनेजर है. लाली पागल ग्रामर यार. हबीब इस मस्जिद के मैनेजर है, ठीक है? कभी कभी मेरी spontaneous हिंदी बहुत खराब है ना, especially when I meet new people. कोई बात नहीं, चलो. ये मस्जिद बहुत खास है क्योंकि ये यूके की पहली मस्जिद है, ठीक है? तो अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Walaikum salam.
Very nice to meet you and thank you so much for having me here.
Nice to meet you too.
It's really exciting to be here and it's such a beautiful, beautiful mosque.
Thank you.
And this is the first time that I am visiting a mosque in the UK and it's very fitting because this is the first ever mosque that was built in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So what historical links does it have to India? Because I saw you on an interview say that an Indian princess had funded the mosque. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the man who built the mosque was called Professor Leitner. He was a Jewish linguist born in Hungary. He went to India and that's where he spent most of his life as the head of the Punjab University. So he spent over 20 years of his life there. He then wanted to set up a Oriental Institute of Learning, which he set up in Woking next door to the mosque. And the mosque was built as a place of worship for students who were mainly coming from India to study at the Oriental College. So the mosque was made for a place for them to come and pray. The second main link is the mosque was funded by the Begum of Bhopal, Princess Shah Jahan. So she made a contribution of around £5,000 for the building of the mosque. So the mosque has a very strong link and ties with India.
So it's actually named after her then, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was built in 1889.
Okay.
So it's the first purpose-built mosque, not just in Great Britain, but in northwestern Europe.
Wow.
There were mosques prior to this, but they were houses just used for prayer. But this is the first purpose-built mosque.
Okay. And is it true that Abdul Karim worshipped here? So the servant of Queen Victoria?
Yeah, so he did worship here.
अगर आप अब्दुल करीम नहीं जानते हैं, तब विक्टोरिया एंड अब्दुल दिखाइए, ठीक है? ये बहुत अच्छी फिल्म है.
We are here for a greater purpose. You are a servant no longer. You will teach me Urdu and the Quran.
And we had quite a lot of soldiers from India who also, when they were in the UK, they would come and pray here, and also visitors and tourists.
Okay, amazing. And I read that some World War I and World War II soldiers that fought for the British that were Indian were also buried near this mosque. So there's a burial site near here, right?
Yeah, so the largest reserve army out of Britain were actually people from India. And the most amount of Victorian crosses were given to Indian soldiers. A large amount of them were Muslim, but there were also Sikhs and people of other faiths as well. So 27 of those soldiers, their funeral prayers were conducted here. They died of their injuries. Some of them were treated at Brighton Pavilion. So those who sadly passed away, their funerals were conducted here and they were buried in the Horsell Common, which is about 5-10 minutes from here. And there was something there which is now called the Peace Garden, which was a cemetery for those soldiers.
Okay, cool. I think we're going to go along there later on. Your job is you are the manager of the mosque.
Yeah, I've been here for over 5 years now. It's quite a busy role. It's a very interesting role. There's a lot of engagement involved, so a lot of visits, a lot of outreach work, working with people from different faiths, doing community work. So recently we did a food bank during the COVID lockdown, where we helped over 1,500 families with food. We also visit prisons and other places to offer people support. The renovation of the mosque is a project that I worked on. So it's a very sort of open and diverse role.
Amazing. And so what are your roots then?
So I was actually born in Kashmir, but I came over here when I was 1.5. So yeah, I've studied here, grown up here pretty much most of my life. My parents are from Azad Kashmir, and Kashmir is obviously a very beautiful place.
I'd love to go there one day. I really want to go there.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's been granted Grade 1 listed status.
Yeah, so it's the only Grade 1 listed mosque in the country.
And the mosque having Grade 1 listed status by Historic England means it has the same level of protection as Buckingham Palace. Kya baat hai? To isliye ye masjid bahut खास hai.
That really bumped up the profile of the mosque and really attracted a lot more visitors, which we love, for people to come here, see the building, learn about the history, learn about the faith, ask any questions, and for us to answer them and clarify that Islam isn't probably what you see on the media or what you take from mainstream news. So it's a great way to kind of build bridges as well.
Touching upon that, Islam is the second biggest religion in the UK. And for me, having grown up in the UK and have lived here my whole life, I find it surprising that I know so less about the religion. From your perspective, what do you think are the most important values about the religion that you would want someone to know who didn't know very much about it?
I mean, other than the actual ritualistic aspect of Islam, so, belief, prayer, charity, fasting and pilgrimage, which is the 5 pillars. Other than that, the most important thing is how we deal with humanity and people. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he came to perfect noble character. We believe he was of noble character. So when you look at his life, a lot of people who came to Islam were through his character and how he was. So other than the ritual parts of Islam, I'd say that how you are with people, how you treat people, I think really defines what a true Muslim is. Be it with your parents, with your neighbours, with a stranger. I think it's treating everybody with that love and care, which is really what Islam is about.
Nice. That's really lovely.
In a nutshell.
Nice. Well, that's everything. Thank you so much for having me here.
Problems. Thank you for coming.
And I can't wait to have a look around and film this beautiful, beautiful building.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So after speaking to Habib, who was very lovely and very welcoming by the way, me and Joe got invited to have a look inside this beautiful, stunning mosque.
Oh, Joe's got weird socks.
So this is where the Imam will stand leading prayer, and the niche in the wall, it helps the sound travel. Also you have the dome structure, which is quite common in mosques and initially introduced by the Turks. And they realised that there was a big earthquake in Turkey, a lot of the buildings collapsed apart from the mosques, and they realised the dome structure actually made the building really rigid. So it's like holding an egg upright and trying to break it. And also helped with the sound. So then you saw buildings in the West using dome structures that weren't mosques. So like St. Paul's Cathedral is quite a famous example of that. You also have the prayer mats, a lot of clocks for the 5 daily prayers. So there's a big emphasis on time. And the daily prayers are based on the motion of the sun. The honeycombs, we have the different attributes of Allah, of God. So there's 99 in the Islamic faith. Examples of those are the most merciful, the most kind, the most generous, the most forgiving, the all-seeing, the all-hearing. And in this frame here is the whole Quran, which is 30 chapters and over 100 verses. This is all in the frame.
Oh wow, it's all written really small.
Yeah, it's all written really small. In the cupboards here are the Qurans, which are always kept high, and we wouldn't place them on the floor. So we'd use one of these Quran stands if we were to sit on the floor and read the Quran out of respect.
He's a really nice guy, isn't he?
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very nice as well. Really relaxed.
Joe, what do you think about this mosque?
It's absolutely stunning. I love the colour scheme. I think the green and the white is just beautiful. And then this Quran, which I think you've taken a picture of, is just, I can't believe they get the Quran.
How on earth have they managed to fit the whole Quran in one picture?
Incredible.
With the text so small. It's incredible.
Beautiful.
So you're glad I invited you to come then?
100%. I've never been to a mosque before.
I've never been to a mosque in the UK before.
It's absolutely phenomenal. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Joe?
A really interesting looking book.
Next, I got to speak to the head imam, and because I was feeling incredibly nervous, I had to keep referring to my notes, and my Hindi was just all over the place, but koi baat nahi. Here's the interview. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now.
No worries.
Okay, sorry. आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई.
मुझे भी आपसे मिलकर और मस्जिद में आप इधर आए मिलकर खुशी हुई.
सबसे पहले आपका पूरा नाम क्या है और आप इस मस्जिद में क्या काम करते हैं?
मेरा पूरा नाम है हाफिज मोहम्मद सईद हाशमी और मैं इस मस्जिद का मरकज़ी इमाम हूँ, हेड इमाम हूँ. और इस मस्जिद में मैं 11 साल हो गए मुझे इस पोस्ट पर. और इसकी जितनी रिलीजियस मजहबी चीज़ें हैं, 5 प्रेयर्स हैं, 5 डेली प्रेयर्स. फ्राइडे प्रेयर जुमा प्रेयर है. लोगों के साथ सोशलिंग काउंसलिंग है. और इसके अलावा लोगों थ्रू थिक एंड थिन इन गुड टाइम्स एंड बैड टाइम्स लोगों के लिए दुआ करना. फिनरल्स मैं लीड करता हूँ, जनाजा पढ़ाता हूँ. आई कंडक्ट द मैरिजेस, निकाह पढ़ाता हूँ. एंड आई अटेंड द मीटिंग्स. मैं मस्जिद की तरफ से मुख्तलिफ जो मीटिंग्स हैं मुस्लिम एंड नॉन मुस्लिम्स लोगों के साथ वो अटेंड करता हूँ. इंटरफेथ एक्टिविटीज़ जो बैनुल मज़ाहब मुकालमा हिंदी में बोलते हैं वो भी अटेंड करता हूँ. सो इसके अलावा कोई भी कम्युनिटी की चीज़ हो, अपनी कम्युनिटी और वाइडर कम्युनिटी में मैं मस्जिद और मुसलमानों की तरफ से उसमें शिरकत करता हूँ और मेक श्योर करता हूँ हमारी अपनी कम्युनिटी और वाइडर कम्युनिटी के ताल्लुकात अच्छे हों और हमारा ये प्यारा मुल्क ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, ब्यूटीफुल कंट्री एंड पीपल ऑफ ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, ब्यूटीफुल पीपल, ये अमन से रहें और ये प्रॉस्पर हों, अच्छे हों.
तो आप पाकिस्तान से हैं और आप पाकिस्तान में कहाँ से हैं?
मैं पाकिस्तान के एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है रावलपिंडी. Rawalpindi is the twin city with the capital of Pakistan, Islamabad. So in Rawalpindi there is a village. I belong to that village. और वहाँ से हूँ.
अच्छा, तो the people that visit this masjid, is it mostly people from Pakistan or is there Indian people that visit? Is there Turkish, Middle Eastern? What sort of proportions of people?
Okay, वैसे जो around outskirts of this mosque जो local community है mainly they are from Pakistan.
अच्छा.
So I can say 80% Pakistan, 10% mix, and 5 to till 10% might be Indian Muslims. लेकिन ये मस्जिद ऑफिशियली वॉकिंग में सबसे ज़्यादा मोस्ट विजिटिंग प्लेस है. इसमें मुसलमान, नॉन मुस्लिम्स, इंडियन, पाकिस्तानी, अरब कंट्रीज और न्यूजीलैंड, ब्राज़ील, नो डिफरेंस. Whoever comes in walking, they say, and when they read it, the first purpose-built mosque of UK, so they do come, and they say, wow.
तो आप पहली बार इस मस्जिद में कब आए थे?
मैं जब पहली बार आया था आज से 11 साल पहले, तो मैं उस वक्त यंग बॉय था, यानी यंग था, बहुत यंग था. तो अभी 11 साल बाद अब कर लें कि मैं जब 33-34 एज थी मेरी, तो मैं इस मस्जिद में आया था.
अच्छा, so 11 years ago.
11 years ago.
Wow. So how did you become the imam of this mosque?
This mosque. मैं बचपन से ही जैसे रोनाल्डो, क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो, फुटबॉलर, and David Beckham, and some other Messi, and many other footballers. They are born footballers. मैं बचपन से जब से मैंने एजुकेशन की, स्कूल की, तो उसके साथ ही मैंने कुरान पढ़ लिया था. तो साथ ही at the age of 17 I was imam of my local village in Pakistan.
Wow.
So at the age of 17 teenage imam. तो फिर उसके बाद स्टडी मैंने जारी रखी, फिर मैंने मास्टर्स किए, फिर उसके बाद अंग्रेज़ी अच्छी बोलता था, तो मुझे बरतानिया ने अप्लाई किया, वैकेंसी आई, मुझे वीज़ा दे दिया. 5 साल मैं अप नॉर्थ रहा मसल में. उसके बाद ये वैकेंसी आई, इन्होंने बोला इधर आए इंटरव्यू दें. जब मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया उन्होंने कहा जी ये हम करेंगे. उसका रीज़न ये था कि जब जो मैं तिलावत करता हूँ वो मक्के की तरह, जिस तरह मक्के मदीने में तिलावत होती है ऐसी होती है. और इसके अलावा उर्दू बोल सकता हूँ, अंग्रेज़ी बोल सकता हूँ, अरबी बोल सकता हूँ, पंजाबी बोल सकता हूँ.
तो आप बहुत होशियार हैं. What would for you, in your opinion, be the most important thing for people to know that don't know anything about Islam?
They can study Islam, they can search about Islam through internet and through different websites. But if you see someone physically, face to face, any scholar, any imam, you think highly qualified and educated can teach you, I can answer you, reply you your questions. You physically, if you see someone, that will be better. Study yourself. If you have questions, mark the questions, and then you see someone. If you can't see physically, then you can ring them up, make appointment, and call them. This is better way. The personality, and if you see someone, for example, I give you example. In media, I'm not saying all media. In media, if something happen, Muslim something does bad, they say, oh, a Muslim guy done this. And the listeners and viewers, they blame whole religion. They have a bush and they color everyone with same brush and same color. Okay. On the other hand, if someone else does bad thing, they don't take the name religion terms. Okay? So this is media and social media, then Islamophobia, negativity about Muslim community and negativity about this great religion. If you see someone and if you physically ask them question, even hard question, then that is very positive and you will learn.
तो Islamophobia बहुत मुश्किल problem है. How do you cope with hearing things like that in the media? And
मुझे अफसोस होता है, मैं 3-4 दिन पहले फ़ोन कॉल आई मुझे मस्जिद के नंबर पर, और उसने मुझे कहा कि ये जो आपने फ्रांस में किया है बहुत बुरा किया है, और उसने मुझे गालियाँ दी. He used abusive language. 3-4 days before something happened in France. Yeah. उसको मैंने ट्राई किया, मैंने कहा कि ब्रदर, would you like to listen me my opinion? उसने मेरा ओपिनियन सुना ही नहीं. उसने फ्रांस में एक इंसिडेंट हुआ, उसने समझा कि फ़ोन उठाया और इस मस्जिद के इमाम को फ़ोन कर दिया कि हम सारे ऐसे हैं. तो ये डिफ़िकल्ट होता है हमारे लिए कि जब लोग बाहर जाते हैं और हमें अब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज का सामना करना पड़ता है, अब्यूसिव बिहेवियर का सामना करना पड़ता है. हमें अफसोस तो होता है कि हाँ, ऐसे तो नहीं है. अच्छे और बुरे हर रिलीजन में होते हैं, अच्छे और बुरे हर सोसाइटी में होते हैं.
मुझे लगता है कि ये मस्जिद बहुत बहुत सुंदर है और बहुत ज़रूरी है, और आपसे बात करके बहुत अच्छा लगा और आप बहुत अच्छे हैं. तो आपकी वक्त के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
बहुत शुक्रिया. और आपने क्या बताया यूट्यूब का नाम?
मेरा यूट्यूब का नाम लंदन की लाली.
लंदन की लाली.
हाँ.
आप इधर आए और आपका बहुत शुक्रिया. और आपके जो व्यूअर्स हैं उनको मैं बोलूँगा कि ये जो यूट्यूब चैनल है, ये लंदन की लाली, इसको सब्सक्राइब करें और इस लाली जी को इनकरेज करें. ये हिंदी सीख रही हैं, उर्दू सीख रही हैं, हमारे इंडिया पाकिस्तान के कल्चर को समझ रही हैं. वी शुड बी हेल्पिंग एंड सपोर्टिंग. सपोर्ट करनी चाहिए और शाबाश देना चाहिए, इनकरेज करना चाहिए. हम सारे ह्यूमन बींग्स हैं, वी आर ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स, हम फ्रेंड्स हैं, ताकि मुश्किल वक्त में एक दूसरे की मदद करें. और जो लोग मोहब्बत फैलाएं, पीपल दे स्प्रेड लव, पीस एंड हार्मनी इन सोसाइटी, they are our friends, they are our own people. We should encourage them and we should be united wherever we live. If our motto is love and we are against of hatred and violence, we should be united against the evils. आपका बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much.
बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you.
I totally agree with the Imam. There is good and bad in every religion, in every society. हम सभी इंसान हैं और हर जगह अच्छे और बुरे लोग हैं. Next, the Imam very kindly gave us a lift to our next destination, which was in the middle of some woodland. Renovated 10 years ago, the Peace Garden was originally the Woking Muslim Military Cemetery, which opened in 1917.
This is so beautiful and it's surrounded by all these trees.
मौसम काफी खराब था. कोई बात नहीं.
So I'm in the Peace Garden where Lots of Muslim Indian soldiers were originally buried. These are soldiers that fought for World War I and World War II. They were fighting for the British, and I'm just so glad that they've got somewhere where people can remember them, because obviously they were fighting for a country that wasn't even theirs, and I'm sure for a long time they were forgotten about, but here is a place where people can remember them, which I think is really important. बारिश हो रही है, मौसम बहुत खराब है, कोई बात नहीं. There's Joe. Let's go before we get locked in.
दोनों शाहजहां मॉस्क और पीस गार्डन बहुत सुकून, बहुत शांति और बहुत खूबसूरत है, and me and Joe had an amazing time. And I just want to thank Habib and the Imam. Thank you so much for your hospitality and taking up so much time in your day. Thank you so much. बहुत शुक्रिया. तो सब लोग, अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा तब thumbs up दीजिए और सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. अपना ख्याल रखना. Love you guys. Bye. दोनों शाहजहां मॉस्क और पीस गार्डन्स बहुत सुकून, बहुत खूबसूरत और बहुत शांति है. And I just want to start again. अगर आप अब्दिल करें, अगर आप नहीं, अगर आप अब्दिल करें, अगर आप नहीं, अगर आप अब्दुल करीम नहीं जानते हैं तब आप विक्टोरिया एंड अब्दुल दिखाइए. तैयार हो?
मैं तैयार हूँ.
ठीक है, तो अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम.
आपसे बहुत खुशी. Sorry, I'm gonna start again. आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. Sorry. Okay. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. I think.
No worries.
Okay, sorry.